So Donald Trump's in the news a lot. There's a funny thing. Kung Fu Panda can tell us a lot about American culture and why Donald Trump is in the position he's in, believe it or not. Now the thing is, the story of Kung Fu Panda is where it all lies. Someone who is inept, incapable, and yet, by the grace of talent, if you like, God-given, but that's not mentioned in the story, he's the dragon warrior. He becomes a master martial artist. And this is something which is about democracy in the way it's formulated through, particularly in America, but also here in Australia and a variety of places. The idea that someone who has no expertise, who is just an ordinary bloke, an ordinary citizen, could somehow be able to run the country, to run even a county or a congressional seat or a parliamentary seat, or be one of the few senators for running a state, or the governor of a state. All of these things we have this belief in Australia and America, and possibly under other kinds of democracy in Europe, that it doesn't take experience or expertise, that somehow there's something innate in the human nature, some gift that we have, that everybody has, that allows us to believe that leadership isn't special. It creates a conflict, because we also see that in Kung Fu Panda, the master has to find the right language to speak to the panda about. When he finally finds the motivation, food in the case of Kung Fu Panda, to bring out the best in the panda so that he can become a master martial artist, the dragon warrior. And this is a central belief in America especially, but also right across the Western world, I think, that all it takes is the right motivation, the right buttons to push in the mentality of someone, and you can be a master, an aristocrat, a leader, and it doesn't take experience. The Kung Fu Panda learns to be the master warrior in just what seems like an instant, a few days of training, once the master has found the right motivational speech and places dumplings in the right place and holds them up ahead of him so that he can seduce him into becoming the powerful man, the powerful being that he is destined to be. And right across America, especially right at the moment, we're seeing with that so many people seem to choose to think that someone like Trump, who appears to be a leader, appears to be brash and rude and pushy. There's a whole culture of brashness. Gordon Ramsay in the chef show, Dr. What was his name? That doctor who was very rude. Sherlock Holmes in the version the Americans have made. Brashness, rudeness seem to be an in thing, and Trump has taken it to the far extreme. So I think there's nothing new about the reasons why, on a cultural level, someone like Trump has achieved the results that he has and going for the electoral role. And then there's the history, George Bush, even Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Eisenhower. So many of the presidents have all gotten where they, and Obama of course, have all gotten where they are by playing the outsider, by being considered an outsider. George Bush comes from an aristocratic family of a great history in politics inside the Beltway, and yet because he spoke with a Texan accent and he came across as if he was a bit of a bumbler, that he could get away with being seen as an outsider by so many people. The same with Reagan, the same with the down-home wisdom of a southerner like Jimmy Carter. And youth seems to be acceptable as well as a token of outsidership, even if your family is one of the richest in the country, such as Kennedy. There's this idea that you don't need experience or expertise to run the whole country is central, and this goes through so many aspects of culture. You've got an unwillingness to allow for luck, the idea that you can have luck because it's there, but somehow it's an innate gift that comes from God. Alright, so Kung Fu Panda has a lot can demonstrate a lot of the reasons why Trump has gotten where he is.